Should I get links in a different language site, but at the same theme? For example, Arabic sports site backlinks to Indian sports site. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
You can do that. You definitely would want the majority of your links to be from same language in most cases. Uh, what do you think about this? You actually have more experience with this than I do,
Well, I
Nick.
mean,
I'll let you
you
talk.
know, it depends because what happens naturally within the SERPs, like, so especially if we're talking about like sports, right? Like something might get international press and something might be talked about more. Like, let's say there's a cricket tournament here in the US, right? I would actually venture to guess that there'd be more like Indian, Pakistani traffic than there would be US based traffic just based on the popularity of the sport, or UK traffic, or somewhere where, the sport's more popular, right? Um, and so if it's something that gets an international kind of trajectory, then it makes sense that it would be linked to from a bunch of different places. But like Chris said, what you want to focus on and where you want to mainly tailor your website, as far as, if you're manipulating the backlink data, then you're trying to get the most optimal backlinks, is where you want your site ranking, right? Because that's what's going to influence those particular SERPs. And SERPs, as we know, are geographically related, right? You get different search results depending on where you are in the world. And so if you've got a US based site, sports site that's got some foreign press, then that's perfectly okay. But if you want to be ranking in the US, then you want the majority of those backlinks coming from US based sites, right? And we're not just talking about like sites in English. We're talking about sites, that have traceable IP addresses, hosting addresses to the US, et cetera. So yeah, just things to think about. But at the same time, getting a Arabic sports site to an Indian sports site, perfectly natural, and the niche relevance is still going to help you in the long run as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just add that I think you can probably get away with more foreign language links on other foreign sites.
Yeah.
But still, in general, best practice, you definitely want most of your links coming from other, sites that are in the same language as yours. But yeah, for example, I was looking at a tech domain the other day, and I actually effed up, and I looked at the domain, and I was like, this thing sucks. 'Cause I just looked at the
Yeah.
backlinks really quick. I had this like foreign stuff in there. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, this thing isn't any good, Nick. And he's like, actually, it's really good. And so I went back in there and I looked at it and I was like, oh shit, it's actually a really good domain. And it's a high quality tech domain, and it had links from, you know, we're talking like top tier shit, like very high authority sites. And it also had a bunch of foreign links in it. And you go and look at these foreign sites, and they're high authority foreign sites in the tech niche as well. So, especially, for example, you're saying from, India is kind of close to Arabic speaking countries. It would absolutely
Mhm.
make sense for, I know cricket or whatever is big over there, and it's probably, I'm guessing it would be kind of big in Arabic countries as well. So absolutely, if they're linking to an article, it makes total sense, right? So yeah, definitely,
Yeah, or like products, whatever. Like they get used worldwide. It makes sense that you can get press from anywhere in any different kind of language, right?
absolutely.
Yeah, totally usable stuff.
Especially if you're not a local site.
Hmm.
Especially if you're covering something like new, just a general topic. You're not just a local business, is what I'm saying. Or
But at the
if
same
you're an
time,
affiliate marketer, you sell products or whatever. Absolutely.
yeah. But I mean, maybe like, I don't know, Amar took a trip to the US and visited this candy shop and then wrote about it on his blog. I mean, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
just think about like what happens naturally, right? Don't overthink it that
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, it's in a different language. Google's going to penalize me for this. No, not the case.
Yeah,
That
probably
kind of
even
stuff
help you
happens
out. It
naturally
probably
all the
definitely, I would
time.
say it would
Yeah.
help you out. You just don't want
I
that
mean,
super high percentage of your link building profile being that, right?
back back when I wasn't so pressed for time and I really enjoyed searching for domains, I loved actually exploring domains with heavy foreign anchor text or backlink profiles. And the reason is because you could find these extremely high value, high authority sites with a lot of
Because
strong
people
press
did
going
what I
through them.
did. They saw the
Yeah,
foreign shit and
they
they
see
dipped
Chinese stuff
out.
and they just go, "Oh no, this is a spam site." No, these are all
Yeah.
Chinese news. I mean, like,
Because yeah, they're
just
shopping
because it's
domains,
in
so
a
they're
foreign
making very
language
quick
doesn't mean it's
judgments.
spam. And you would see that all over the place. Oh, it's got foreign anchor text. It's garbage. But are you manually looking through this stuff and combing it? Because it's absolutely not. It's high value. And a lot of times I would like to use those for PBNs, and I'd repurpose them in a completely different language, etc. That can happen too, and it doesn't mean that you're gonna be looking at a D-index or anything like that, because in any foreign land, there's also people that speak different languages, different communities of different types of people, etc. Right? And so it leaves a lot of variables that can't be pinpointed and dismissed in the SERPs. So
Just to make it even more confusing for you, I'll just go on a more of a little tangent here. So Nick was saying we have Amar. Amar comes to the US and goes to a candy shop. Candy shop. And then he goes and he posts about it on his Arabic blog. And then for whatever reason it goes viral because maybe
yeah.
they had a
Oh,
controversial
gushers.
piece of candy.
Yeah, there you go.
And so whatever, it goes viral. And so then you have a ton of Arabic sites linking to this US based local candy shop. This can actually happen in the real world. And is Google
Yeah,
then, and let's say that it was a small candy shop and that the backlinks they're getting from these Arabic websites now makes up 90% of their backlink profile. Is this website going to get penalized? And you have to say that the answer has to be hopefully no, because this happens completely naturally, and this does happen completely naturally from time to time. A website can go viral for whatever reason in another country and just get a bunch of links to it from from foreign language stuff. So yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, which if we think about it broader, I mean, like, there's all sorts of different things that people put into question when it comes to the backlinks and how quote relevant. So like language is something that we can talk about, but what about like negative press as well? And this is kind of going off of
I'll take
a
that
little bit
negative press
of a
if they give me
tangent.
backlinks.
Yeah. Oh, one of my most powerful websites has to do with a site I bought at auction that had a lot of very negative press associated with it. But do I
Maybe we should
care?
try to get some negative
No.
press.
I mean, it adds up, and just because it's negative, I know a lot of people talk about semantic
Yeah.
issues when trying to rank.
Semantic
I
big brain
haven't
stuff.
I haven't found any kind of issue where I've got negative press on the back end of a website and then it's not ranking for anything. As far as I can tell, Google doesn't seem to care, right? Like they're just looking for the press. So yeah, different backlink profiles can come from a plethora of different places that are still extremely valuable.
But yeah, best practice. If you're building these links yourself, definitely build them, most of them same language. Probably gonna work out better for you. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the description below for links to our blog for more info on this topic, along with a bunch of other cool stuff like case studies, our Facebook community, and our link building services. And like always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if you enjoyed the video. Thanks and happy ranking.